Hello, my name is Erik Otto, and I'm an interpretive resource specialist with Missouri State Parks, and I oversee Don Robinson State Park. And Don Robinson State Park is a really special park that sits just outside of the St. Louis area in Jefferson County and lies within the LaBarque Creek watershed, the upper tributaries of the LaBarque Creek that drain down into the Merrimack River. In 2008, a gentleman named Don Robinson made the decision in his will to leave his land to the Missouri Department of Natural Resources, and he wanted everyone to be able to see and enjoy the land as he did. After Don passed in 2012, the land was eventually deeded over to Missouri State Parks. And at that time, we had the task to quickly identify what is within the property boundaries of that land. What are the items of historical value? What are the natural resources found in that park? And what are the cultural resources found there? Once many surveys were done to identify what is in the park, we presented those at several meetings that were open to the public to get input from Missouri citizens of what they would like to see done or not done within the park. One of the common comments we were receiving was wanting to see little development, to little disturbance to the land. And that is what kind of helped dictate what you see today as the infrastructure in Don Robinson State Park. The infrastructure is very, very little, with basically one main park road leading from the entrance all the way up to a hilltop where we have a very beautiful day use area. This day use area acts as a hub for our park visitors. It is here that you'll find a viewing platform that has a spectacular view of the LaBarque Creek watershed. This viewing platform also contains barbecue grills, picnic tables, a covered shelter, and Adirondack-style chairs for people to relax and enjoy. In addition to restrooms, you'll find a kiosk with information about the park, an old residence that Don used to live in himself, and you'll find a grave site at the top of one of the hills that Don now lays to rest. From the day use area, you can also access both hiking trails in the park. We have the LaBarque Hills hiking trail, which traverses the western portion of the park and is 2.4 miles long. And we also have the Sandstone Canyon Trail, which goes through the central and eastern areas of the park and is 3.9 miles long. Both of these hiking trails highlight what is unique about the St. Peter Sandstone Formation that lies within the park and the features you'll see within the LaBarque Hills landscape. The staffing at Don Robinson can change throughout the season. I myself am the only full-time staff dedicated toward Don Robinson State Park. During the summertime, I can have between 2 to 3 seasonal staff that will assist me with park operations and maintaining the park and any type of projects we have going on. During the winter time, I usually run a stewardship crew that will provide work at Don Robinson as well as many other parks within our area. It can be tough throughout the year to get as much as I would like done having low staffing levels, so I depend heavily on volunteers and have good relationships with several organizations that have continued to come back to assist with volunteer work within our park. This past fiscal year, we were approved and completed a project to construct a restroom within our special use camping area. This project required heavy machinery to dig hole, have a vault put in, and then do some stick framing to complete bathroom on top of that. Another project we have going on in the park is a capital improvement project to reconstruct the Don Robinson residence that's located in the day use area. This is a project that is going to be in several phases, in which the first phase has already started, which was the removing all the wood and timber portions of the house, removing it down to stone foundation and walls. We're then going to have a contractor come in to complete repairs and tuck point the stone foundation so our construction crew can come in and build on top of that. We are anticipating the project being done in the spring of 2025. At that time, there will be hours available for people to go inside and see the house, as well as engage with park staff on site. We've also been approved and funded to replace our drinking fountain. The current drinking fountain we've had has had issues over time and has left it inoperable. The new one we'll be placing it with will not only be a drinking fountain, but will also be able to accommodate people bringing their own bottles to the park and have a water bottle filler on it. Due to the high quality and diversity of plant life and the terrestrial communities within the park, a lot of the land has been designated into a natural area. This came as an extension of LaBarque Creek Natural Area and encompassed many more acres on Missouri Department of Conservation land, as well as Don Robinson State Park, and has brought the natural area to just under 2,000 acres. We continue to monitor and evaluate our invasive and exotic species within the park. We work toward eradicating plants such as yucca, sweet clover, Sericea lesbieza, Japanese stiltgrass, bush honeysuckle, autumn olive, and then some of our native invasives such as eastern red cedar, sugar maple, and some sycamores. While we have a pretty good plant list for Don Robinson State Park, there is still a lot to learn about the animals that are using the park. And in doing so, we conduct a lot of surveys throughout the year to help us identify what those animals are. One of the projects that is currently going on in its second season is a reptile and amphibian survey. This is being led up by a team of master naturalists from the Miramigoa chapter who is helping to identify the different reptiles and amphibians that are found within the park through several different types of surveys throughout the seasons. My staff and I have also assisted by doing salamander surveys that will help provide data for the larger survey going on in the park. We also have another group of master naturalists from the Confluence chapter that is helping out to thin some of our maple trees, to thin out some of our invasive maple trees in the park to get more of an open woodland that Don Robinson would have naturally had in its uplands. The Sierra Club has even made it out on many occasions to assist with a variety of things going on in the park, such as some trail maintenance to removal of yucca within the park and thinning out some of our maples too. We even had a pretty successful burn this season. On February 14th, we teamed up with the Missouri Department of Conservation and we expanded one of our burn units within the park, Chinkopin Hill Burn Unit, which used to be about 88 acres, and we expanded to about 200 acres, which encompassed land on LaBarque Creek Conservation Area. And we worked together to conduct a 200-acre burn. And this year we'll be looking at burning LaBarque Hills Burn Unit, which is 127 acres. This past July, we had some really bad storms in the very beginning of the month, as well as a tornado that came through the Cedar Hill and Byrnesville area. It did nip a portion of the park and took a lot of trees down on one of our trails. We ended up having trees down on both trails, and it needed a lot of work. It took my crew many days to walk the trails and remove trees from both of these hiking trails. If you notice trees down as you're hiking through the park, please call us, let us know its location, and that can really help us expedite that. My staff and I also present interpretive programming for the park. We have presented many programs off-site to groups. We have also presented on-site to groups such as the Y Rangers, which is a YMCA day camp that comes out to the park, and we take them on a hike. We've had Show Me groups come out, which is part of our Show Me summer camp experience for more day camps to be able to come to visit the park, as well as public programs such as naturalist stations, where my staff and I will be set up somewhere in the park and have brought some specimens or something we have collected from the park to be able to show and engage with visitors when they visit the park. Thank you for joining me for our first public meeting for Don Robinson State Park done virtually. My hope is this can reach many more people than our normal meetings that take place at the park have in the past. For anyone that's needing to get a hold of Don Robinson State Park staff, our offices are located at Robertsville State Park, and the office number would be 636-257-3788, or you can reach us through email through the Missouri State Park general email, which is moparks@dnr.mo.gov. Thank you for your support within Missouri State Parks. Missouri State Parks are funded largely by a park and soils sales tax that is 0.1% of the sales tax in Missouri, in which Missouri State Parks receives about half of that